Good afternoon and welcome to Willspool Stadium for this Grünhaller Lager Lancashire Cup first round game between Warrington and Oldham. The teams for this afternoon's match: Warrington at 1 Brian Johnson, 2 Des Drummond, at 3 Paul Cullen, 4 Barry Peters, 5 Joe Reparty, 6 John Woods, at 7 Keith Holden, 8 Tony Humphreys, at 9 Kevin Tamati, 10 Bob Jackson, 11 Gary Sanderson, 12 Mark Roberts and 13 Billy McGinty. Substitutes for Warrington: 14 Mark Knight, 15 Mike Gregory. Oldham at 1 Keith Atkinson, 2 Richard Irving, 3 Colin Hawkyard, 4 Kevin Meadows, at 5 Jeff Edwards, 6 Steve Peters, at 7 Paddy Kerwin, 8 Ian Sherratt, 9 Ian Sanderson, 10 Hugh Waddle, 11 Mick Waddle, 12 Paul Round and 13 Mal Graham. Substitutes for Oldham: 14 Tony Copeland, 15 Tony Morrison. The referee this afternoon is Cliff Hodgson from Maryport. His touch judges are Mr Beach and Mr Byers. And the two captains for Oldham: Mal Graham, also one of the coaches at Watersheddings, and Kevin Tamati. Beautiful sunny afternoon, a slight breeze blowing from left to right as we look. In the first cup competition of the season, and it'll be Oldham to kick off, playing from right to left as we look, and the strange hoop jerseys of red and white. Warrington, of course, in their usual strip of white shirts with the primrose and blue V and white shorts. So Oldham, of course, now playing in the second division, but unbeaten, 1-3 out of 3. Warrington unbeaten, of course, in Division 1. And it's Keith Atkinson who gets this Grünhaller Lancashire Cup first round game underway, and it's safely taken by Brian Johnson right at his own try line. He moves forward, faced by Mal Graham, and Mal Graham brings him down midway inside his own 25. It's Gary Sanderson who goes to acting half back, short to Bob Jackson. Jackson drives forward. And the first penalty of the match going to Warrington. Ian Sherratt and Paddy Kerwin not allowing Bob Jackson to get to his feet. John Woods then to put for touch on this near side, aided by a good breeze blowing in Warrington's favour in this first half. Second part of the penalty, Gary Sanderson will tap it onto Kevin Tamati. Gary Sanderson was taking all set plays due to the absence of Mark Roskell. It's onto Tony Humphreys. Humphreys will be in action on Wednesday night in the colours of Lancashire, in the one of the Rosies against Yorkshire. Kevin Tamati turns back to Keith Holden, swings it out to John Woods. Woods straightens up, caught by Mick Worrell, gets it back to Bob Jackson. Jackson gets away from Worrell, tries to go down the centre, just caught though by Hugh Waddle. Sanderson to John Woods. Woods swings it out to Mark Roberts. Mark Roberts back, good tackle there on Roberts, who is striding through from Steve Peters. This time it's Keith Holden moving forward, swings it out to Cullen, short to Drummond. Drummond now into space. He's faced by Swinger on the outside, who brings him down well. Good tackle there from Jeff Edwards. It's out to John Woods. Woods swings a long pass out to Tony Humphreys. Humphreys straightens up, gets out of one tackle. Finally brought down by Paul Round. Sixth tackle there for Warrington. Midway side of the Oldham half, it goes to John Woods. Woods gets away from Round, swings back out to Mark Roberts. Roberts left-footed. Richard Irving there, and he lets it go for a tap from the 25 for Oldham. So the first attack of the game comes to nothing as far as Warrington are concerned. Ian Sanderson to take the tap from the 25. Ian Sherratt. An exchange with David Hobbs last season, which saw Sherratt go to Oldham and Hobbs to Bradford. Hugh Waddle there being pushed back by 3 Warrington players. Roberts, Tamati and Humphreys all in the tackle. Mick Worrell, but Mick Worrell meets a block. Oldham a long way offside as Brian Johnson takes it, and Johnson kicks downfield, goes towards the corner, and Atkinson forced to pick it up, touching goal. Atkinson faced by Tamati, and Tamati brings him down with the assistance of Paul Cullen. Kevin Meadows stopped again by Kevin Tamati. Hugh Waddle runs into Sanderson, Jackson and Humphreys. Kerwin once more. looking to go himself. He once again falls to another good tackle from Bob Jackson. Sanderson this time. Oldham will kick to relieve the pressure. Comes on this near side. Bounces awkwardly for Des Drummond. And bounces into touch. And that results in a scrum down midway inside the Oldham half of the field. With 4 minutes gone in this first half, and Warrington immediately given a penalty. Oldham coming down far too quickly. Keith Holden takes it quickly, swings it out to Woods, takes it one-handed, short to McGinty. McGinty stopped in midfield by Paul Round and Paddy Kerwin. Paul Round line on in the tackle, finally gets to his feet. Gary Sanderson this time to Kevin Tamati. Tamati driving forward, gets a pass away, but it'll be dived upon by Sanderson for Oldham. And Oldham back in possession. This time it's Paul Round making a couple of yards over on that far side. Cross the line this time to Sherratt. Sherratt though hits hard by Mark Roberts and Bob Jackson. Acting half-back Sanderson on this near side, across the line, Peters. But no way through there for Colin Hawkyard. Paddy Kerwin cuts inside. Well smothered by Gary Sanderson. And a knock-on spotted by the linesman on this near side. Results in a scrum down. Injury over on that far side to Ian Sherratt, receiving treatment. Keith Holden, and offside over on that far side. Referee Cliff Hodgson right on the spot. Gives Warrington a penalty. John Woods will put for touch. First real opportunity then for Warrington inside the Oldham 25. Gary Sanderson will take it. In from the wing comes Joe Reparty. Reparty crashing forward. Makes about 5-6 yards before he stopped. This time with Kevin Tamati will take it at first receiver. This set move though from Warrington, a couple of forward drives to the line, then a set move involving the backs. Tony Humphries this time bottled up. Won't go to the ground though. This time it goes on to Holden. Holden swings it round. The ball's intercepted by Mick Waddle. Waddle down the centre now. Good cover tackle from Keith Holden there coming back on Mick Waddle. And then Holden giving the penalty as Keith Holden tried to let his men get back into position. Didn't get off quick enough, says the referee Cliff Hodgson. And Oldham have the penalty. Keith Atkinson fires the ball into the main stand. Sanderson taps it. It's on to Hugh Waddle. Waddle though, he meets Tamati and Humphries and brought down just inside the Warrington half of the field. Ian Sanderson this time swings it back to Sherratt. Sherratt makes 5 or 6 yards before he stopped. Once again it's Sanderson. Peters swings it out this time. Paul Round. Paul Round gets the ball back to Paddy Kerwin. Kerwin going across field, runs into John Woods, and John Woods pushes him back. Sanderson on the blind side this time to Steve Peters. Peters gives a dummy, runs into Cullen. McGinty also in the tackle with Keith Holden. Sanderson right with Kerwin, swings it out to Graham. Graham switches it back to Hugh Waddle. Waddle striding forward into the Warrington 25. Good tackle from Mark Roberts. 6th tackle then for Oldham on the attack. Mal Graham, and Mal Graham drops the ball, and that will be the 6th tackle, and Warrington will be in possession with the new rule this season. Keith Holden on to Bob Jackson. Face opening at the moment from both sides, both tackling hard and running hard. Kevin Tamati swings it back to Humphries, finds a gap down the centre, looks for support from Sanderson, who is coming up on his right, but the ball was just smothered by Mick Waddle. Sanderson out to John Woods, swings a floaty pass to McGinty. McGinty gets out of one tackle, still going before he's brought down. Paddy Kerwin it was who stopped him in midfield. Keith Holden onto John Woods. Woods looking for the gap and finds it onto Brian Johnson. Johnson finds the gap, swings it onto Drummond. Drummond now, he's got two in front of him, comes back inside. Drummond still going. Good run there from Drummond, manages to keep in the field of play with a good run from Woods and Johnson. This time it's Jackson, swings it out to Roberts. A loose pass, Holden picks it up, swings it out now to Cullen. Cullen back to Sanderson, the ball's loose. A knock on there from Sanderson, but a good move there. As Sanderson was going through the gap, Mal Graham there, just a little tap forcing the ball to go loose. And that's a scrum down just outside the Oldham 25. Ball goes in, and this time it's Bill McGinty who's penalised and gives Oldham a penalty. And that will not reach touch. Well taken by Peters, swings it now to McGinty. McGinty striding down the centre. Good tackle though from Sanderson. Tamati swings it out to Holden. Holden brings in Barry Peters. Peters, nice ball to Cullen. Back inside comes Drummond. Drummond now trying to crash through. Takes three Oldham players to stop him. Keith Holden this time out left to John Woods. Woods short pass to Humphries, crashing forward. He beats one man. Tony Humphries still going. Just caught though by the fullback Keith Atkinson when he had one in his right and left. This time it's Keith Holden moving forward. Swings it back to Kevin Tamati. Tamati though buckled up 10 yards from the Oldham line. Gary Sanderson this time, out to Keith Holden. Holden looking for the gap himself, swings it back to Sanderson, picks it up to John Woods. Woods gives a dummy, straightens up, beats one man, just caught by Ian Sanderson. Tamati this time, swings it out to Tony Humphries. Humphries, he's got nobody on his right hand side, the ball's loose, and now Holden now on the counter attack with Paul Round. There's space now here for Jeff Edwards. Edwards still going, back to Meadows, but good cover tackle from Gary Sanderson to bring him down. Jeff Edwards once again, end-to-end stuff in these opening minutes in this Lancashire Cup first round game. Kerwin finds space for Waddle. Chatty's here for Oldham. Waddle still going. He's got out of one tackle. He takes a good tackle from Brian Johnson to stop him. Oldham now on the attack and they get the penalty. Brian Johnson after coming back with a superb tackle on Hugh Waddle. On a real derby atmosphere, both sides really going in hard, and Oldham with a good breakaway from Paul Round puts them up now with 6 tackles inside the Warrington 25. Sanderson, it's Sherritt who'll drive for the line. Good tackle from Tony Humphries. Sherritt trying to get the ball away, but Tamati comes round to smother the ball. Here's Sanderson acting half-back once again, goes himself, gives a little dummy, makes a couple more yards and inches towards the Warrington line. Kerwin going across the line. Paul Round. Good tackle from McGinty, the ball goes loose, straight into the hands of Bob Jackson. Gary Sanderson goes himself from the play of the ball. Keith Holden swings out to Kevin Tamati. Tamati gets the ball away to Barry Peters. Peters now. Peters still going, just couldn't get the ball away to Rapach on his left hand side. Good move though, Brian Johnson to Keith Holden. John Woods now, down the centre of the field. Stopped by Ian Sanderson and Hugh Waddle. Keith Holden again to Gary Sanderson, run around with Holden. Holden looking for a gap and had his head really cut off there by Mal Graham. Right round the head. In fact, it was Colin Hawkeye who gets a speaking to. Thought right round the head of Keith Holden. And Warrington have the penalty which John Woods will take. So, just over 12 minutes gone in this Lancashire Cup first round. It's still Warrington 0, Oldham 0, but here's Bob Jackson crashing forward. Takes place just short of the Oldham 25 before he's brought down by Sherritt and Sanderson. Gary Sanderson to Tony Humphries now. Humphries just makes it inside the Oldham 25. Gary Sanderson left with Kevin Tamati, swings it back to Keith Holden. John Woods, Paul Cullen licking up, Cullen now he's through, he's not got the full-back to beat, he crashes for the line, and he's there, yes, Paul Cullen manages to get the ball down to score, and Paul Cullen opens the scoring, there's 3 older players round him, but he still managed to ground the ball in the corner. First try goes to Warrington, the scorer Paul Cullen, who did well to ground the ball despite the attentions of 3 Oldham players. The opening score coming in the 14th minute. Warrington 4, Oldham 0, try scorer Paul Cullen. John was then with a difficult conversion attempt. And a great kick from John Woods there. Just took it so relaxed. The difficult wind making goal kicking very difficult this afternoon, but straight through the uprights from John Woods. Makes the score Warrington 6, Oldham 0. Atkinson restarts for Oldham. A deep, high lofted kick. Hits the post. Will come to Mark Roberts, who takes it safely under pressure from Mal Graham. Sanderson goes left. Beats Waddle. Sanderson still going. Good run for Sanderson to clear his lines. Oldham now to Tamati. Swings it out to Bob Jackson, striding down that far side. Keith Holden this time, swings it out to Woods, it goes behind him, picked up by Johnson. Crowd don't like the referee's decision. Who gives a knock on? Against John Woods. Kerwin puts the ball in, Oldham in possession here, Paddy Kerwin. Gets it through to Mal Graham, who's stopped by Mark Roberts. Paddy Kerwin again to Steve Peters. Peters swings it back and Hugh Waddle knocks the ball on. And that set move from Oldham made him look a little bit silly. Oldham puts the ball in, comes straight out, but referee lets it go for Paddy Kerwin to stride forward. Paddy Kerwin, of course, made his name last season for that injury time try against Wigan in the Challenge Cup. But some good strong tackling coming in from White at the moment. Ian Sanderson looking for a gap himself. Stopped by Sanderson and McGinty. Kerwin going himself. Stopped 5 yards short of the Warrington line. Oldham now looking for a quick reply to the Warrington try. It's swung across to Worrell, but Worrell can't find any room on the 6th tackle. And that's the turnover to Warrington. Kevin Tamati takes it. Caught by Mick Worrell. Keith Holden this time, out to Bob Jackson. Jackson once again drives forward, makes a few more extra yards. Holden onto Roberts, looking for a gap down the centre. Nearly found it. Good cover tackle coming in from Mal Graham and Paul Round. John Woods to Keith Holden. Holden back to John Woods. Holden to Tony Humphreys. Beats one man, strides down the centre again. Just caught by the shoelace. 6th tackle, John Woods. It's a long kick, but just too far from Woods. And that will be Oldham in possession. Just outside the Warrington 25. Sanderson looking to go through himself, stopped on the Warrington 25. Paddy Kerwin sends it out right to Paul Round, driving forward. Round still going. Gets the ball back to Paddy Kerwin. Kerwin now still going. And referee will have a word with Tony Humphreys. Looks a little bit harsh decision. He was caught wrong-footed. and was penalised, and Oldham a chance to open their account in this Lancashire Cup game, right in front of the post for Keith Atkinson. Atkinson puts it safely through for Oldham's first point of the afternoon. Warrington 6, Oldham 2, with 19 minutes gone in this first half. Woods restarts. Trapped by the foot of Hugh Waddle. Drives out to his 25. Clears his lines well before he's stopped by Mark Roberts. This time it's Ian Sherratt. Ian Sanderson to Paddy Kerwin. Kerwin, nice ball to Steve Peters. Peters though easily tackled by his opposite number John Woods. Ian Sanderson to Mal Graham. Goes right with Kerwin, but he fires one into touch. And that will be a scrum down, ball back. 10 yards inside the Oldham half. The scrum collapses, which means they'll all stand up and reform once again. Keith Holden to John Woods. Woods looking for a gap himself. Tackled right round the neck. Steve Peters talks back to the referee. Leaves John Woods on the floor. And when John Woods does return to his feet, he'll take an attempt at goal. Woods then comes up, strikes it well, and strikes it safely through. His second successful kick of the afternoon. And the difference back to 6 points. It's Warrington 8, Oldham 2. Atkinson restarts, once again fires it deep. McGinty takes it well. Strides forwards, gives a dummy as if he's going to kick. Brought down on this near side by Kevin Meadows. Des Drummond to Paul Cullen. Sanderson looking to go through himself. Stopped the shot of his own 25-yard line. Kevin Tamati goes himself from the play of the ball and strides forwards. Woods, little chip over himself. Space here for Roberts, bounces awkwardly, but it bounces nicely for Keith Holden. Inside to John Woods, it's a chase for the line. Woods is going, nobody's going to catch John Woods, but the referee brings play back for a forward pass. Looked a perfectly good try, but the referee disallows it. So, Warrington's try from John Woods does not count. Instead we have a scrum down 5 yards inside the Oldham half. Ball goes in. Paddy Kerwin must have been offside, but he was adjudged that he did retire and made Ben Johnson look slow. Paul Round trying to drive forward. Kerwin, Peters, short to Sherratt. Ian Sanderson this time, right to Steve Peters, brings in Mick Waddle. Waddle looks for support, finds it, but Hortyard well buckled up, then kicks out at Mark Roberts. Sanderson right this time to Waddle. Waddle straightens up. Sixth tackle then for Oldham on the Warrington 25-yard line. Steve Peters, little grubber kick through himself, he's through, makes a dramatic dive, instead Brian Johnson takes it. Steve Peters has a few words to say to the referee as Kevin Tamsey comes away with the ball for Warrington. This time it's Jackson, caught by Mick Waddle. John Woods to Keith Holden. Holden's kick, just too far. Oldham in possession with Kerwin, chances here for Atkinson, but Johnson came round to close the gap which Atkinson was going through. This time it's Kerwin. Chances here now for Oldham as Mick Waddle's trying to drive forward now. Goes right with Waddle. Waddle still going. Surely it was tackled, the referee lets it go. Oldham then on the attack with Kerwin, swings it back, good tackle from Bob Jackson there. Ian Sanderson to Mal Graham, swings it out to Mick Waddle, chances here now for Kevin Meadows, but Meadows drops the ball. So scrum down. Ball goes in again. Mal Graham must have been a mile offside, and he was. Spotted this time by the referee. John was then to foot for touch. Makes no mistake. Gary Sanderson takes the second pass of the penalty on to Bob Jackson. Jackson drives straight at Steve Peters. Makes good 10-15 yards before he brings him down. Sanderson this time swings it back to McGinty. Looks a high tackle there from Peters. Sanderson to Kevin Tamati. Swings it back to Keith Holden, out to Woods, on to Cullen. Gets away to Peters. Peters is flying through the gap. Will he get there? And in fact the pass goes into touch. His Joe Party had just come inside when the pass was delivered. But some good quick passing across the line there from Paul Cullen on to Barry Peters, which leaves a huge gap in the Oldham defence. But the far pass this time didn't connect. The scrum collapses. Punts from this one for both sides, just 5 or 6 yards from the Oldham try line. And Oldham in possession with Paddy Kerwin. So, little over 10 minutes left in this first half of this Lancashire Cup first round game. Warrington leading by 8 points to 2. And Oldham in possession inside their own 25, which Ian Sanderson drives out. Paddy Kerwin over that blind side to Paul Round, driving forward. The bye from St Helens. Peters brings it back to Atkinson. Atkinson Straight into the hands of Brian Johnson. Johnson now flying onto the ball. There's Drummond. Drummond now flying. Beats one man, comes back inside. Drummond still going out to Johnson. He's not got the full back to beat. Back inside to Cullen. Cullen will go under the post for a great try. Great move there. Three-man move. Johnson, Drummond and Cullen. And being sent off is Steve Peters for an off-the-ball incident. Hitting Des Drummond off the ball. And Steve Peters walks to the tunnel for an early bath. We're in the 28th minute for an off-the-ball. Hitting off the ball, Des Drummond. So Steve Peters down for an early bath as Des Drummond receives treatment after he delivered a superb pass to Brian Johnson. Johnson in fact was involved in that move twice. He caught the ball, had it onto Drummond. Drummond flew back to Johnson. Johnson then had Cullen in support to beat the Oldham defence to score. And Des Drummond, just as he delivered that pass, was hit by Steve Peters with a vicious tackle. And Des back to his feet. Still a little bit groggy, it looks like. Kevin Town, do you think, wants him to go off? Des Drummond wants to carry on. And meanwhile, John Woods puts the ball over. And Des Drummond getting a good round of applause after setting up that try. So Oldham now down to 12 men with the sending off of Steve Peters. Referee didn't produce any cards, so I presume he's gone off for the rest of the match. So Warrington 14, Oldham 2. Gary Sanderson in possession now for Warrington. Makes it to his own 25-yard line before he's stopped by Ian Sanderson and Hugh Waddle. Tamati to Roberts. Roberts beats one tackle, though, just caught by Sanderson as he was going through. Sanderson, Holden, swings it back to Tamati. Tamati still going despite one man on his back, and his pass just couldn't go through to Keith Holden. Sanderson. And Warrington given offside, not directly behind the man. Tony Humphries and Keith Holden. And Keith Atkinson will try and pull 2 points back for Oldham. Atkinson then. Comes up, strikes it, doesn't get full power on it, and it drops short, and Brian Johnson has it. Johnson flying now, gives a dummy and runs into Mick Worrell. Gary Sanderson, stopped by Mal Graham. Tamati short to Humphries, to John Woods. Woods, space now for Roberts, driving forward, gets the ball away to Peters, takes it superbly to Rapati. Rapati did well to take it before he stopped over on that far side. Holden this time. Barry Peters is down injured. Woods to McGinty, short to Jackson, finds the gap. Jackson powering forward, still Jackson back to Sanderson, onto Woods, he juggles with it over to Keith Holden, but the pass will go forward. Another great move from Warrington. Their second try disallowed so far this afternoon. This time Keith Holden, who's going over, brought back for a forward pass. Ball goes in. Paddy Kerwin has it, goes himself. Easily caught by Keith Holden. Barry Peters back to his feet after receiving treatment. Limping a little low. With 7 minutes remaining in this first half. Warrington leading 14 points to 2. Sanderson right to Waddle. Once again, Ian Sanderson to Mick Worrell. Gets the ball away, it goes loose though. Sanderson has to go back, quickly pounced upon them by John Woods and Barry Peters. Paddy Kerwin with a grubber kick. Well taken by Johnson when it was bouncing awkwardly. Johnson going around the outside and beats two men. Johnson still going, just caught by the ankles as he moved into the 25. Good run though from Brian Johnson, sets Warrington up back on the attack. The ball kicked away by Kerwin and he gets it himself. Good bit of play there from Paddy Kerwin. Oldham about to make a substitution in. Sherritt will come off as Warrington are given offside. And Ian Sherritt leaving the field, being replaced by Tony Morrison. Sat right on the halfway line, first receiver is Hugh Waddle. Makes good ground before he's finally stopped over that far side by Rapati, Jackson and Tamati. The ball ricochets, appeals for offside. Kevin Tamati, the main appeal up. Sanderson on the blind side, good tackle from Joe Rapati. Paddy Kerwin, Mick Worrell coming on strong. Gets a lovely pass away to Mal Graham and then drops the ball. The ball's still loose. Tony Humphreys picks the ball up, but referee doesn't play advantage. Brings play back for a scrum down. So 5 minutes left in this first half. Warrington in possession. John Woods. Keith Holm there was a victim of a violent kick from Paul Round, and the referee saw it. One wonders if the referee will have the guts to send Paul Round to the sin bin at least, because it was a violent attack on Keith Holden. Yes, he's been sent to the sin bin. Good referee in there. He's been sent to the sin bin for 10 minutes, is Paul Round. So Oldham using bully boy tactics at the moment, and the referees and linesmen are spotting them, and the just punishments are being dished out by referee Cliff Hodgson. And it's fighting now on the benches over there. A good bit of aggravation there as Paul Round was going down the tunnel. As John Woods kicks for touch and the ball sails in, no mistake. So this game really brewing up at the moment. Oldham had 2 players sent off. Keith Holm looking a bit groggy at the moment as he walks round. It's on to Kevin Tamati, drives at the Oldham defence with a good strong run again. Action-packed match at the moment. Gary Sanderson on to Humphreys, finds a huge gap. Humphreys is striding forward still. Tony Humphreys swings it out to Des Drummond. The ball just goes loose. And there's a fight now. They're all started. A full-scale riot as they all go in. It was boiling up. 2 Oldham players sent off already. A few mass skirmishes. I think the referee will have to dish out a few more punishments here. Oldham already 2 men sent off, and I won't be surprised if a couple more players were sent off at the moment. Referee stops the clock and before he sorts this one out. It was Des Drummond who was racing through, dropped the ball. He seemed to be punched by Keith Atkinson. Drummond retaliated and suddenly had a full-scale skirmish on our hands. So this match there really hotting up. It's been for the last 5-10 minutes really boiling over since Steve Peters got sent off. Few punches being thrown in tackles. We just saw Paul Round being sent off for 10 minutes. And the referee now will sort things out. Calls over Des Drummond. And 10 minutes for Des Drummond. And Des Drummond gets 10 minutes in the sin bin. And Oldham have a penalty. So, we're getting down to football plays at the moment. Oldham down to 11. Warrington down to 12. Mick Worrell puts the ball safely into touch. So, a minute and a half left in this action-packed first half. Hugh Waddle. He's hammered to the ground by Mark Robertson Cullen, and the referee now I think will be in close on every tackle that takes place. This time, Mick Worrell, 3 Warrington players quickly on him. Ian Sanderson swings it out to Kerwin, took it off the floor. Substitute Morrison. Good strong tackle from McGinty and Sanderson. No love lost at the moment between these two sides as Kerwin swings it back to Meadows. Meadows stopped by Sanderson and Humphreys. Sanderson, blind side now to Kerwin, back inside to Mal Graham. Good tackle from Tony Humphreys. 6th tackle there for Oldham. Sanderson, short. The ball fired in by Jeff Edwards for the scrum down. So a scrum down just inside the Warrington half of the field. Now moving into time added on by the referee in this first half. And there's been quite a lot of that with the injuries and skirmishes. Loose arm in the scrum gives Oldham a penalty. The ball fired in by Keith Atkinson. Sanderson to Mal Graham. Mal Graham stopped by 3 Warrington forwards, Jackson, McGinty and Sanderson. Paddy Kerwin goes himself from the play the ball, looking for a gap himself. McGinty there with Jackson to stop him. Sanderson this time, Hugh Waddle. Good tackle again from Gary Sanderson. Paddy Kerwin this time, swings it, gives a few dummies to Mick Worrell, but Worrell easily stopped by Gary Sanderson. Ian Sanderson then for Oldham, out to Paddy Kerwin. Chances here now for Richard Irving. Good tackle from Joe Reparty and pushes Irving back a good 10 yards. 6th tackle then for Oldham. Kerwin straight into the hands of Woods. And the linesman puts his flag up. Now play getting on for 2 minutes of injury time. And the referee again gives another penalty to Oldham. Certainly giving them their fair share of opportunities at the end of this first half. It's taken by Mick Worrell. Worrell chances here now for Graham onto Meadows, crashing for the line. 3 Warrington players stop him and in short. Ian Sanderson tries to go through himself. Good block there from Cullen and Woods. And they push him back a good 5 yards. John Woods and Paul Cullen. Can Warrington hold on at the end of this first half? Graham to Waddle. Waddle will try and charge through. And there goes the half-time hoot up. An action-packed half in the Greenhill Lancashire Cup first round. Sees Warrington going at the interval, leading by 14 points to 2. Thanks to 2 tries from Paul Cullen and 3 goals from the boot of John Woods. The reply from Oldham, a penalty goal from Keith Atkinson. There's also been sin bins for Des Drummond of Warrington and Paul Round of Oldham, who we believe are sending off for Steve Peters. So the half-time score here in the Greenhill Lancashire Cup first round game is Warrington 14, Oldham 2. So teams return for the second half. Warrington have made one substitution, which means the first appearance in Warrington colours this season of Mike Gregory. And of course, spends a successful spell down under during the summer and comes into the action in the second half of this Greenhow Lancashire Cup match against Oldham. It looks like he may have come on for Mark Roberts. So Mike Gregory on for Mark Roberts as this second half gets underway. Warrington leading 14-2. No, neither of the Simbin players are back yet, namely Paul Round and Des Drummond. Paddy Kerwin and going across field. Kevin Meadows short to Hugh Waddle. Waddle comes back inside. Ian Sanderson short to Kevin Meadows. Meadows trying to get through. Good tackle coming in though from Kevin Tamati. Ian Sanderson sends it back to Keith Atkinson. Atkinson kicks downfield. Takes it safely. Brian Johnson is stopped. Swings it out now to McGinty. And McGinty pushed into touch. And in fact the player to have gone off at half-time looks to be Keith Holden. And John Woods looks like going to the scrum half position. Mark Roberts is out there on the wing. Joe Raparti's moved to the centre. So a bit of a swap round for Warrington in this second half. Richard Irvine. Mal Graham to Hugh Waddle, but he meets Kevin Tamati. Humphreys, good pass though to Sanderson. Paddy Kerwin. Kerwin gets away from one, still going on to Mal Graham. Chances now for Sanderson. Sanderson looks for support and finds it from Morrison, who juggles with it and drops it. And Billy McGinty dives on it for Warrington. First touch of the ball back in England in the first team for Mike Gregory. Links 5 or 6 yards before he stopped. Kevin Tamati outright with Barry Peters, who looks to have gone to the stand-up position. The ball now with Peters, out to John Woods, to Raparti. Swings it out to Paul Cullen. Cullen now to Mark Roberts. Roberts charging down that far touch line. Gets back up again. Well, the crowd certainly saw something which presumably the linesman and referee didn't see. Sanderson to Tamati, driving down the centre. There's an other injury there to Warrington. Tony Humphreys is down injured. Barry Peters tries to cut back inside but can't. We had a look if Tony Humphreys had to go off injured and would miss Wednesday's game. Play for Lancashire, great ball there. Mark Roberts now driving down, just caught there, which that tackle leaves Jeff Edwards down on the ground. John Woods, a grubber kick, will it go into touch? Yes it will, the kick there from John Woods, switched it onto his left foot and goes into touch a couple of yards short of the try line. Paul Round return to the action. Mark Knight warms up as Tony Humphreys receiving treatment still. So scrum, Warrington pack, it looks like more 7-a-side rugby out there with the size of the packs. But Oldham give him a penalty. Kevin Tamati just saying give it a fair chance, give Warrington a chance as well. But I think for the last 5 or 6 scrums, Oldham have been given a penalty each one. Atkinson fires the ball into touch. Paul Round still waits to come over on that far side. Ian Sanderson then takes the tap to Paddy Kerwin. Kerwin brings in Hugh Waddle. Waddle hammered hard, gets the ball back to Paddy Kerwin though. Kerwin space now here for Sanderson. Nice ball onto Atkinson. And there's a fight now between Kerwin and Roberts, whereas Oldham still carries on. There's a fight going on in one part of the ground. It's been sorted out, but the linesman still wants to work. Suddenly Sanderson goes down as if it's been 10 rounds with Bruno. And the action begins where it left off. They look a bit more fists flying. Mike Gregory though did well. He came in and separated Paddy Kerwin and Mark Roberts. You know him. And the referee is going to call back. Sure, it would make more sense if the referee ran to the opposite end of the ground instead of making a player run all the way to him. But he's called over Mark Roberts. Paul Roundfield. And Mark Roberts getting 10 minutes into the sin bin. And play will come back into the sin bin. There'll be plenty of action to be talked about in the bars after this game, that's for sure. As Atkinson fires the ball into touch. Des Drummond now waits to return with 6 minutes gone in the second half already. Mark Roberts spending 10 minutes in the sin bin. Paddy Kerwin this time swings it out to Paul Round, back on after he's spent the sin bin. And this hard tackling is not making a very open game at the moment. Still close at 14-2. There's Kerwin, who was involved in that incident with Mark Roberts, didn't even warrant a talking to from the referee, Mr. Hodgson. Sanderson short this time to Morrison. Good strong tackle from Billy McGinty. And Des Drummond comes back into the action as Hugh Waddle crashes through. Good tackle from Tony Humphries. Mal Graham swings it out now to Worrell. Worrell finds a gap, gets the ball away now to Paul Round, round to Meadows. Meadows will fly in at the corner. Meadows scores. Warrington there kept Mark Roberts, who had gone onto the wing. He's spending 10 in the sin bin. Oldham take full advantage by Kevin Meadows scoring in the corner and putting the score back to 14-6. So, difficult touchline conversion for Keith Atkinson. Strikes it well and strikes it safely through from Keith Atkinson. And we have got a cup tie on our hands now at 14-8. Des Drummond now back into the action for Warrington. So both sides now back level, both with 12 men, but Warrington with still Mark Roberts to come back on. Steve Peters off for good. John Woods restarts. Taken by Richard Irving. Irving runs into Jackson and Humphries. Kerwin. Colin Hawkyard. Sanderson acting half back. Hugh Waddle turns in the tackle but can't get the ball well. He well smothered by Mike Gregory. Sanderson swings it back to Keith Atkinson. Atkinson kicks using this wind. There's Drummond there, takes it safely. Drummond moves in field now, cuts inside Waddle. Waddle checks back to bring him down. Gary Sanderson. Peters gets away from Round. Stopped by Morrison. This time it's Mike Gregory. Sanderson outright with John Woods to Barry Peters. Peters trying to go through himself. Gary Sanderson this time to John Woods. Woods short to Tamati. Tamati stops by Paul round and push back. 6 tackle there for Warrington. John Woods will wait for this one. John Woods, little chip over himself. Cullen follows it. But the ball safely into the hands of Kevin Meadows. And this game at the moment is evenly balanced at 14-8. They're trying to go up, bring the scores level. Ian Sanderson, Morrison, Hugh Waddle turns, the ball goes loose, picked up by Tony Humphries. Then Paddy Kerwin lies on the tackle, lets his players go back. The referee didn't want to know. This time it's John Woods. Woods, nice pass to Cullen, swings it on to Drummond. Drummond looking to beat his man on the outside and does. Drummond now still going, comes back inside, looking to beat his man on the outside. What a try from Des Drummond, beats 3 men on the outside to score in the corner. Great try there from Des Drummond. The Oldham fans are silenced. What a try, he beat 1 man on the outside. The fullback came across, he beat him as well and dived at the corner for a great try. A great individual try from nothing from Des Drummond. So John Woods from the touchline, strikes it well, just fades across the front of the posts. So Warrington 18, Oldham 8. With 11 minutes going this second half. In this action-packed Greenhill Lancashire Cup first round match. In which we've seen 3 exhilarating tries from Warrington. Through from Cullen and that superb effort from Des Drummond. Restarts Keith Atkinson. Peters tracks it with his foot. Picks it up bravely and then caught by Paul Round. Gary Sanderson. Offside, Morrison there, referee lets it go as Sanderson still drives forward. Paul Round there going in with the fist again. He's already been sent to the sin bin. Like a wild man out there at the moment. Tamati swings it back to Humphries, crashing forward, just caught, gets up again. Humphries is still going, still driving forward. Good effort from Tony Humphries again. Goes out this time with John Woods. Woods, nice pass releasing Barry Peters, who's striding forward. Peters beats the full-back, hands it on to Mike Gregory, swings it out to Brian Johnson. Will anybody stop him? No, they won't. Great try, Brian Johnson the scorer. Left of the field try, Brian Johnson. 2 tries in 2 minutes. Great pass there from John Woods, released the gap for Peters. Peters beat the fullback, had support. The ball was moved out to Johnson. Johnson had 4 older players chasing him and there was never going to catch him. He did a run all day. There's an injury there to a Warrington player. It may be John Woods down injured after he delivered a beautiful pass. And it is John Woods who is out. He delivered a beautiful pass to Barry Peters. And once again, Oldham players hitting with a late challenge, which this time the referee or linesman didn't see. Bob Jackson then, having a go at goal. Strikes it well, strikes it safely through from Bob Jackson. But remember his exploits in the John Play semi-final last season against Widnes when he kicked a couple. Mark Roberts returning back from the tunnel. So Warrington suddenly take command. It's Warrington 24, Oldham 8. Keith Atkinson restarts. Mike Gregory tracks it with his foot, takes it safely. Mike Gregory driving out. Once again, Paul Round going in with a hard challenge. John Woods swings it out to Kevin Tamati. Tamati driving out to his own 25. Still driving hard. Throws a back pass to John Woods. Woods straightens up. Once again, a wild challenge from all round. The referee not bothering at all. This time it's Kevin Tamati. Tamati hands off Sanderson, gets a lovely pass to Mike Gregory, out to Tony Humphries. Humphries now looking for a gap. Still going, just caught by Kevin Meadows. Woods at the moment in full flight. It's Mike Gregory to John Woods. Woods gives a dummy, straightens up. The ball goes loose. Brian Johnson hacks it on. Keith Atkinson will pick it up deep inside his own half. He's faced by Barry Peters. And Barry Peters brings him down with a good tackle. This time it's Colin Hawkyard. Decides to keep hold of the ball. Ian Sanderson short to Kevin Meadows. Well tackled by Tony Humphries and then Bob Jackson. Mark Roberts now coming back onto the field. And then quite strange decision from Mr. Hodgson. Gives Oldham a penalty and a chance to relieve the pressure. Mark Roberts now back on, coming onto the wing position. Gerard Party in the centre. Atkinson puts the ball out of the ground. Ian Sanderson takes it to Paddy Kerwin. Kerwin swings it back to Hugh Waddle. Good tackle from Tamati, the ball back to Sanderson. Goes to get the ball away, but a good tackle comes in from Bob Jackson. Meadows swings it out to Kerwin. Kerwin straightens up and slips at the feet of Bob Jackson. Dangled upon by Gary Sanderson. This time it's Ian Sanderson to Morrison. Mal Graham drops it. Picked up by Barry Peters. Tries to cut inside Paul Round, who's there again with his bully boy tactics. Mike Gregory this time. Gregory cuts inside, gets the ball away to Jackson, just goes behind him. Richard Irving picks it up for Oldham. Hawkyard. Good strong tackle from Mike Gregory and Kevin Tamati, who swings into the ground. Ian Sanderson. Hugh Waddle. Good tackle there from McGinty. Still gets the ball away to Kerwin. May have been wiser to part with the ball. Does decide to part with it, then gets his plays in all sorts of problems. Forcing Hugh Waddle to just dive on the ball. Ian Sanderson. Paul Round. Looks for support, but can find none. And he drops the ball, which the referee sees. So John Woods in the strange position of scrum half. Injury to Bob Jackson. Bob Jackson back to his feet and pat down again in the front row. The scrum collapses. The ball goes in. Paddy Kerwin to Mal Graham. So it is out to Atkinson. Hawkyard, John Woods comes straight across to bring him down. Meadows. He's dumped to the floor by Barry Peters. Jeff Edwards makes ground inside the Warrington half of the field. No way through for Kevin Meadows. Ian Sanderson acting half back, comes on this near side to Hugh Waddle. Three Warrington forwards there. Kevin Tamati, Bob Jackson and Tony Humphries. And Humphries has stayed down after making that tackle. Kerwin, Worrell. Throws the ball out to Round, which looks a long way forward. Round driving forward. Throws the ball back, picked up by Mal Graham, who's then brought down by Billy McGinty. 6th tackle then for Oldham. Sanderson plays it to Kerwin, who knocks on, and that will be Warrington's ball on their own 25-yard line. Jones plays it to Gary Sanderson, who brings in McGinty. Sanderson out to Mike Gregory. Turns in the tackle. Once again, Paul Round in the tackle again. Tamati gives a good dummy. Throws the ball back to Sanderson, on to Bob Jackson. Jackson now gets the ball back to Tamati again, on to Barry Peters. Peters cuts inside, on to Mike Gregory. He's got 2 with him. One's Paul Cullen. Cullen back inside comes Des Drummond, gets out of 1 tackle, swings it out to Peters. Peters straightens up. Gets the ball back to Mike Gregory, on to John Woods, back to Gary Sanderson. Great play this from Warrington. Billy McGinty swings it back to Tony Humphries. Humphries cuts back inside, back to McGinty. McGinty now back to Kevin Tamati. The ball now with John Woods is picked up by Bob Jackson, who's storming down the centre. Will he get the ball away to Mike Gregory? No, but great play there from Warrington. About 20 passes from one end of the field to the other. This time it's Woods. Kicks it out to Des Drummond. Drummond, Rapati will crash it over for a try. And the referee disallows it. Joe Rapati's try doesn't count. Warrington's 3rd try, which has been disallowed this afternoon. But some great play from Warrington there. Had the Oldham defence not knowing where they were. And Paddy Kerwin, the scrum half, has to bring the ball away himself. Hugh Waddle throws the ball back to Sanderson. Coming back this way now is Paul Round. Throws the ball back this time now. Chances down the centre now for Sanderson. Chased by Peters, and Peters brings him down with a good tackle. Richard Irving this time. There's a huge gap down the centre. Irving, good tackle from John Woods there, because he was the only man back for Warrington. An important tackle that from John Woods, who's the only one back. Oldham take a quick tap now. Morrison swings it back to Graham. Graham, chances now for Hugh Waddle. Waddle going for the line, he's stopped inches short. Oldham on full flight now as Kevin Tamati dives for the balls, penalised. Don't know, he could have been penalised when he was standing on his own line. As soon as the ball went on the ground, he flew, but the referee said he was too fast for him. Gives Oldham another 6 tackles. Mal Graham, no way through in that far side. Ian Sanderson to Paddy Kerwin. Kerwin will try and go through himself. This time it's Paul Round to Sanderson. Sanderson gives a dummy. Will he get there? Great saving tackle from Barry Peters to stop him right on the try line. Once again, Kevin Tamati being too quick for the referee, and he's being given 10 minutes in the sin bin. Well, Kevin Tamati there, like Ben Johnson off the blocks, he was far too quick for the referee, and the referee sends to the sin bin for 10 minutes, which seems a very harsh decision to me. Oldham with Paul Round, space for Irving, fine tackle from Jackson and Rapati to stop him. They've had about 12 tackles so far on the Warrington line, still they don't score, still Warrington defence is holding firm. Some fine defence at the moment from Warrington. Sanderson this time to Kerwin, swings a long pass out, and good play from Paul Cullen there. And he doesn't spot a knock on. He must spot that one, and he does. Well, some fine defence there from Warrington. There's about 14 or 15 tackles on the trot, right on the Warrington line, and still Oldham couldn't go through. So 15 minutes to go, Warrington 24, Oldham 8. Woods puts the ball in, and Warrington in possession. Cullen to Drummond. Cullen just manages to keep the ball in play, swings it out now to Gary Sanderson. And Sanderson brought down just outside his own 25-yard line. Woods to Humphreys. Gets a good ball away to Mike Gregory, charging down the centre. Sanderson to Woods, on to Barry Peters, McGinty. McGinty trying to drive through. Held up in the tackle. Sanderson. Caught by Mal Graham. Jackson, right with John Woods. Woods, nice ball to Mike Gregory. Mike Gregory though well wrapped up this time. 6 tackle for Warrington. 10 yards or so in their own half. John Woods out to Paul Cullen. Chips it through himself, he'll follow it himself, will he get there? No, good challenge and then a fine tackle. Drummond picks it up, he gets up, throws it back to John Woods. Out now to Barry Peters. Peters goes back inside, he's stopped by Mal Graham. Good play there for Des Drummond. Sanderson to John Woods down the centre. Gets away from one. John Woods still going. Fine run from Woods. Brian Johnson swings it out now to Peters. Back to Sanderson. Back to Peters. Peters cuts back inside. Still going. 6 more tackles for Warrington. Gary Sanderson right with John Woods. Woods now. Long pass out to Cullen, to Drummond. Drummond now onto the party. Will he get there? He's going for the corner. He's just put the ball down. Joe Reparty at the corner scores. The ball was flashed out over that far side. 2-3 passes and Reparty flew in after a good looping on the outside to Des Drummond. And Joe Reparty scores in the corner. And registers his 2nd try of the season. Mark Knight warming up. Looks as if he'll make an appearance in this Lancashire Cup game. And Bob Jackson looks like will go off as John Woods strikes it well. What a kick from John Woods. And Bob Jackson it'll be who'll go off. And Bob Jackson leaves the field. Good round of applause to be replaced by Mark Knight. Warrington still got Kevin Tamity in the sin bin. So Warrington 30, Oldham 8. Atkinson restarts, a deep kick. Peters stops it with his thigh, takes it safely. Moving forward then Barry Peters. Well tackled though by Colin Hawkyard. Sanderson gives a dummy. John Woods, first touch for Mark Knight. Crashes out of 2 tackles. Good strong run from Mark Knight. First touch of the ball. This time it's on to Mike Gregory. Gregory cuts inside, throws a pass out to Cullen. Cullen throws it back to Brian Johnson. Johnson now has got room to move. It's a lovely pass on to Gary Sanderson. Sanderson still going, tries to hand the man off but can't. John Woods this time goes himself in the play of the ball. Nice ball to Peters, swings it back and it's intercepted by Morrison, who's then stopped by John Woods. Sanderson to Waddle. Back to Sanderson, to Kerwin. Back now to Mal Graham, but it's now with Paul Round striding forward. Good tackle from Woods, the ball loose. It's picked up by McGinty, but the referee gives a knock on. So 10 minutes to go in this Lancashire Cup match. It looks like Warrington will be going into the draw for round 2 tomorrow morning. As the ball goes into the 2nd row, Kerwin to Atkinson. Short now to Hawkyard, overlap here now for Richard Irving, but he drops the ball. Still an opportunity for Richard Irving, but I think he was more bothered about Brian Johnson and John Woods coming across than he was the ball. Kevin Townley about to make his appearance back into the game. John Woods, as the scrum collapses. Ball goes in, goes right through. John Woods dives on it bravely ahead of Richard Irving. Mark Roberts takes the ball away himself. Sanderson, Mike Gregory. Sanderson to John Woods. McGinty. Barry Peters this time up to Mark Knight. Once again crashing forward, beats one man. 2 touches for Mark Knight, gets 2 good runs to his name. This time it's Gary Sanderson to John Woods. Woods, Peters, slick pass to Humphreys, who carries Colin Hawkyard with him. 6th tackle then for Warrington. Mike Gregory decides to kick downfield. Looks a good kick from Mike Gregory, and a great kick from Mike Gregory. Takes play to the Oldham 25 for a scrum down. Ball goes in. Scrum collapses. Kerwin buckled up by John Woods. Richard Irving makes good ground before he's stopped by Tony Humphreys and Billy McGinty. Hugh Waddle. Ian Sanderson left. Mal Graham. Mick Waddle. Swings it back to Ian Sanderson. He's then buckled up by Billy McGinty and Barry Peters. Morrison gets the ball back to Sanderson, swings it out now to Paul Round. Good tackle from Joe Reparty. 6th tackle then for Oldham. Sanderson plays it back to Atkinson. Kicks downfield. Mark Roberts takes it safely. Turns, he's got Johnson on the outside. Roberts gets back up. Still Mark Roberts does well there to clear his 25 and keep it in play. Mark Knight now. Kevin Townley back onto the field after he spent the sim in as John Woods goes across field onto Reparty. Reparty crashes forward, gets away from Kerwin, still going. Good run from Joe Reparty. Kevin Tamati. And Des Drummond just couldn't take the pass there, right on his bootlaces. Caught hold of it, just bobbled out of his hands. And Warrington give offside against Mike Gregory. With about 7 minutes to go of the match. I think that's the first real offside decision we've seen in the match. And a good kick there from Atkinson, sets Oldham up on the attack, but it will surely be a consolation try. I don't think there's any way they're going to get back to win this match. Sanderson swings it back to Waddle. Kerwin back now to Mick Waddle. Good tackle from Humphreys. Ian Sanderson swings it out to Paddy Kerwin. Paul Round. Good tackle from Barry Peters. Round plays it now. Paddy Kerwin. 6th tackle then for Oldham, 5 yards from the Warrington line. Paul Round kicks it through and superbly taken by McGinty, then drops it. It's a skirmish on the line. But play will be given as the first knock on. And the scrum down right on the Warrington line. Still 5 minutes to go. Wanting the scrum in the correct position, Mr. Hodgson. John Woods has it. Beats his man. Can he go the length of the field? He's got Johnson with him. The pass is knocked down. Brian Johnson kicks it forward. He still goes to chase for the ball. Johnson, who is caught from behind, and then dives on it. Great move there, Johnson and Woods. Johnson plays it now to John Woods. Swings it out to Barry Peters. On to Paul Cullen. Cullen back inside comes Des Drummond. Drummond now, he's crashing for the line. Back to Peters. The ball goes loose. Drummond will pick it up again. But it'll be a knock on and a scrum down. And Oldham in possession. Kerwin to Kevin Meadows. Good tackle from Cullen and John Woods. Paddy Kerwin done a lot of work this afternoon for Oldham, but to no avail at the moment. No last minute winners for Oldham this afternoon, I don't think, as Hugh Waddle strides down the centre of the field with 4 minutes left of the match. Morrison swings it out to Paul Round. Good ball to Richard Irving. Irving faced by Roberts, and Roberts brings him down with the assistance of Barry Peters. Hawkyard. Sanderson to Morrison. Throws the ball back, a risky one. The ball still loose. Mike Gregory picks it up onto John Woods. An open field now, he must score. It's onto Cullen, he'll take it easy. Hat-trick for Paul Cullen. So easily made by Mike Gregory and John Woods. Hat-trick this afternoon for Paul Cullen. There's an injury on the ground. Looks like it may be Mike Gregory, it is, who looks injured after he delivered a lovely pass to John Woods. It was obviously going to be a try. It was either Woods dummying and going to the post, or drawing the man and passing it on to Cullen. He decided to pass to Cullen, and Cullen had the simple job of scoring his hat-trick in the corner. Mike Gregory back to his feet as John Woods lines up the kick. And once again, no mistake from John Woods. And John Woods given today's Man of the Match award as well. 9 goals against Hunslet, 3 against Halifax, and has registered 5 this afternoon, plus making a couple of tries as well. So 2 minutes to go. Warrington now lead by 36 points to 8. Atkinson restarts. And Mark Knight a little bit misjudged it. Bounced over his head and into touch. Ball goes in, John Wood takes it. Mike Gregory to Kevin Tamati. Peters looking to go through himself, stopped by Kevin Meadows. Sanderson to Tamati. Tamati gives a dummy, goes himself. Throws the ball back to Mike Gregory, hits him on his head, takes it superbly, and then Paul Round with a harsh tackle around the neck, right in front of the referee. The referee lets play go on. Kevin Tamati to John Woods. Swings a lovely pass out to Paul Cullen. Cullen back inside comes Des Drummond. Drummond crashing forward, knocks off one man, throws the ball back to Cullen. Cullen swings it out to John Woods. Woods striding down the centre of the field, cuts inside, throws the ball back, a risky one. Mick Worrell looked to be scared. He's thrown out now to Mike Gregory. Gregory now gives a dummy, still going. Back inside comes Mark Roberts. Roberts now to Party. He's crashing for the line. Will he make it? Superb try. Superb try. The try of the match for Joe Party. What class there. It passed through 10, 15 hands. Went from one side of the field to the other. And it finishes off with Joe Party registering his second try. First 11 Warrington player was involved in that move. He stacked on the other side as Des Drummond got the ball away. It went right across. John Woods there, Mike Gregory, Mark Roberts, and it was Joe Rapati who finished it off. And Warrington at the end of this match beginning to run riot. This time Joe Rapati scoring his second try of the afternoon. And John Woods, it skims the post and goes in. John Woods registers his 6th goal of the afternoon. And after having to take over the scrum half role in this second half due to the injury of Keith Oldham, being the major force on the Warrington side this second half, as Warrington now lead by 42 points to 8. And we're now in injury time of the match. Atkinson restarts, Mark Knight comes for it, takes it safely this time. So now playing time added on by the referee. A few stoppages in the second half. Gary Sanderson goes to blind side. And in fact, there goes the final hoot-up. Warrington move into the second round of the Greenall Lancashire Cup with a convincing 42 points to 8 victory over Oldham. Warrington's points coming from tries from Brian Johnson, Des Drummond, a hat-trick from Paul Cullen, and 2 for Joe Rapati. There were 6 goals for John Woods and a 1 goal for Bob Jackson. Oldham's reply was a try from Kevin Meadows and 2 goals from Keith Atkinson. Few skirmishes, sin bins for Des Drummond, Mark Roberts and Kevin Tamati. Sin bins also for Paul Round and a sending off for Steve Peters. So Warrington go into the second round of the Greenall Lancashire Cup. This has been your commentator Tony Gleave at Willspool with a final score of Warrington 42, Oldham 8.